So as I mentioned, at the beginning of the week, I was kind of going down this fierce self-compassion, Kristen Neff stuff about gender socialization. And then as the week's gone on, it's like, yeah, I can't quite do that. So luckily, the text kind of invites us to think about compassion for the world wrapped in kind of an honest truth about ourselves. And we've been in the book of Ephesians for the last few weeks. Ephesians was one of those letters written by one of Paul's followers that sort of tells the sweeping arch of the Christian narrative. There is this brokenness that's in us and through us. We can use whatever words we want to use: evil, isolation, sin. But then there is this grace, this love, this care that reaches out to us and reminds us that we're always cared for and forgiven. And that love and grace invites us into good works, into caring, and into a common humanity, and to realize that we're one people. So that idea of one bond and one people being together. And then you come here towards the close of the chapter, and there's this passage which I have never preached on, but it shows up in the lectionary. So I thought, okay, and it is about the whole armor of God. It's this kind of almost sounds militaristic image where, the people in the early days of the church would have seen, Roman soldiers in the street, the images of war all over. But this image sort of is subverted because the armor here is not aggressive, but it's more defensive. It's more allowing one to stand one's ground. And it's not an aggressive posturing, but more of a protective. Finally, be strong in the Lord and in the strength of God's power. Put on the whole armor of God, so that you may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. For your struggle is not against enemies of blood and flesh, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the cosmic powers of this present darkness, against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly places. Therefore, take up the whole armor of God, so that you may be able to withstand on that evil day, having done everything to stand firm. Stand, therefore, and fasten the belt of truth around your waist. Put on the breastplate of righteousness. As shoes for your feet, put on whatever will make you ready to proclaim the gospel of peace. With all of these, take the shield of faith, with which you will be able to quench all the flaming arrows of the evil one. Take the helmet of salvation and the sword of Spirit, which is the word of God. Pray in the Spirit at all times in every prayer and supplication. To that end, keep alert and always persevere in supplication for all the saints. Pray also for me, so that when I speak, a message may be given to me to make known with boldness the mystery of the gospel, for which I am an ambassador in chains. Pray that I may declare it boldly as I must speak.